What's up, guys? Sean here. I thought I'd make a fun video just on when I sit down to kind of learn a new song, or if I'm on a backing track or anything like that, how I go about figuring out the key, how I go about, if it's a song, figuring out earworms, melodies, how I go about maybe figuring out parts of the solo or using that to influence how I would like to do a solo. Just kind of like how I break this down. Now, of course, you could just do I'm going to go to Ultimate Guitar if you're a guitar player and look up tablature, look up sheets, anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I always like to train my ear, use the bit of music theory that I have and fretboard fluency that I have, and challenge myself that way and really go by ear. And I think it makes you a better musician personally. I think it opens up more creative doors doing it this way than just being like, well, here's how they wrote it. Sometimes I end up in a different place, an octave higher or lower than the original song, but it sounds cool and it's just a different way to take on it. So anyways, I thought it'd be fun to kind of break this down into a couple different series. I'm going to go over how I figure out the key. I'm going to go over how I figure out any, again, like I said, melodies, and go over any, if there's some cool vocal lines, kind of the vocal notes that the singer's choosing, how I figure that out on guitar as well, whether that's through bends or whatever. And just kind of talk about it. I would say I'm an intermediate to intermediate advanced guitar player. I am not a shredder. I am not anything crazy. I'm somebody who's been playing guitar for 17, 18 years, done a lot of it through ear and self-taught, and then more recently in the past year, getting more music theory, which has opened up a lot of doors and understanding on the guitar for me of things I've been playing. So I don't know, this is just kind of cool. If you find this interesting, awesome. The song is Faithfully by Journey. Never sat down to learn this song, so this is going to be a raw shot at this. I've listened to the song a lot. It's a song I've heard since I was a child. So if you're a musician and there's a song that you're learning and you've heard it a lot in your life, you probably are going to be able to get a lot of this relatively quickly just because it's in your subconscious. So let's do this together. Let's just click play. Got it pulled up on YouTube here. Just listen to it. Now for me, I like to think from a lead guitarist perspective, and so I like to play lead stuff starting around the A string, the G string, right? Stuff like that. So okay, so right now I'm just kind of figuring out, knowing what notes I'm playing relatively. I'm not super great at this. Ooh, that sounds nice. Okay. Okay. Okay, so again, kind of the first verse I like to use, hone in. Again, as a lead player, I like to G, if you're a guitar player, you just love the way the G string sounds. Haha. B, or A string, G string, all that stuff, right? B string, G string, A string, D string, excuse me. Anyways, so kind of just by ear, that sounds nice. That sounds nice, right? That sounds really nice. And then it's okay. I'm in my minor pentatonic box. Literally position 3. In the cage system. And that would be starting on, that's my G, right? My G, E, F, G, G sharp A. So this is G, but I was here. So that's G sharp minor pentatonic box. So G sharp minor is where I think we are at tonally, but that B sounded really nice, right? And what we know is that going up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, gives you your relative major, right? And then if we know the major, going down 3 frets gives you your relative minor, B, right, A, and then G sharp. So G sharp minor, B major. Those are my guesses. Now, what is it actually, and is it in the major or the minor tonality? Let's keep listening. Okay, this is ear. That B just sounds playing roots. It's B. It's got to be B major. And again, am I basing that off of anything really theory-wise that I can apply to this? Other than knowing that the minor pentatonic box that works for this song is a G sharp minor, knowing the relative major of that based off of fretboard. Again, I can't explain to you circle of fifths necessarily and why musically that's the relative major and how that works super fluidly. I'm not the guy for that. I do know that on a guitar, if you want to figure out relative minor and major, it's just this 3 fret rule up and down the way I do it. I figure out the minor pentatonic box. It's kind of the easiest way, honestly. And then from there, I figure out what the relative major of that is, and then I kind of like play the roots of the major, roots of that minor, and I go, which one sounds better? Using my ear. To me, ear-wise, that B sounds like the root of this song. Let's look it up. Here we go. What key is Faithfully by Journey in? Here we go. B major. Okay, so again, not super complicated. You do need, in my opinion, to know that, you need to know a little bit of music theory, but more in tune of like fretboard music theory. Again, as a lead guitar player, somebody who knows pentatonics inside and out, I go to find my pentatonic box, my minor pentatonic box, my position 3, for those that know the Cage system, my G position, my position 3. Right, and that's G sharp. That's your starting, right? Okay, so that's my G sharp minor, and then I always just move up 3 frets to figure out the major. 1, 2, 3, boom, that's B, right? G sharp, A sharp, B, boom, B major. And then from there, I kind of just played around with it. Right, that B sounds really, really good with Faithfully. That's my guess. I could have been wrong. But again, that's how you do ear training, right? That's how you can kind of go like, okay, tonally it sounds like that's what it is. So if that kind of helps you as a guitar player, think about like, how can I figure out what key it's in? Go by ear. You're always going to be relatively around the key that it's probably in, or being able to find some of the notes that work. Again, everything's a half step on a guitar, right? So once you kind of figure that out, again, my suggestion is figure out the minor pentatonic box, the position 3 for it, because that's the minor key of the song, and you can then figure out the major key by going up 3 frets. Now, if you end up figuring out the major key first, right, it's the different rule. So if I figured out that, if I was like, oh, that's it, right, and then I kind of played the B major scale there, and I was like, okay, well, what's the minor of it? It's just the same rule, but going back towards the headstock, right? 1, 2, and I would have been like, okay, there's G sharp minor. I would have played the minor pentatonic box just to make sure, right? And I would have been like, okay, that's the minor, and then same thing. So I hope that helps. If you guys are guitar players, if you're musicians, mainly guitar though for this, right? Figuring out what key it's in. So that's how you figure out the key that it's in, kind of based off ear and some fretboard fluency in music theory. Hope you guys enjoy that.